Alright, I finally got it. It took, is this camera filming side to side? That's me. What's going on, guys? Because I know I filmed one time and the thing was upside down. This looks like it's side to side, but the menus are upside down, so I don't know about that. If it's side by side, forgive me. It's a new phone, I'm just learning the options on it. But anyway, here's the deal with that Toro. I got the carburetor to stop leaking. I adjusted the hinge on the float so that it would cut the fuel off sooner, and I put a new bowl gasket on, and then after that I noticed there was a little hole in the bowl itself, and the little gasket that goes around the main jet, that main bolt that goes up through the center, that tore. So I changed the bowl and that little gasket, and now it doesn't leak. And then I was having trouble getting it started. The primer's not working. I'm going to swap the primer out because I had to use starting fluid. Now that I got it running, it's running good. It sounds a little rough at the moment, but that's because, one, it has to burn off all that crap. There was still a little bit of H2O in that gas, and the deck itself, I still have to see if the blade is perfectly straight, if not replace the blade. And I have blades for sure for those Toros. And then after that, engine should be good. Let's hear it. You can hear it from here. I don't even think that's the, it's not the engine. The engine's running good now. Might just be the deck, something on the deck rattling, or again the blade itself. But the engine's finally good. I'm gonna replace this primer. I don't think it's working properly. I'm gonna put the air filter back on now, because that'll help too. And then I'm gonna see if it'll prime. If not, I'm gonna swap that primer out. I think that primer needs to be swapped out either way. But on these Toro Tecumsehs, the butterfly arm always goes in that front corner hole right there. Always. And then the one for the setting the speed, that's top to top, and then the butterfly one goes on the bottom of the governor arm. I forgot to put this back on yesterday. I guess it's some kind of vent, and then the air filter goes over that. So I'm putting that on next. Then we'll see if it starts back up easy enough. But it's not leaking gas anymore, and it's running good. So I solved that issue. Engine's good now. I still got to put that cover back on. That thing was annoying and kept getting in my way. So I ended up taking the muffler off and then removing it from the manifold so I could just get right at it, because forget about it. I would have been here for a half an hour trying to loosen these nuts, and that one was still a little bit loose. So once I had it out, I tightened that up all the way, because you don't want them loose. You want these gaskets to seal well. And when I pulled this manifold from the block, it did slightly tear the gasket, but they matched back up when I put it back together. So I think we're good there. Any air leaks will cause the engine to run off or surge. So that's why it's always good. It's a good idea to have a fresh gasket. If not, use RTV to seal it, one or the other. But no more leaks. See how it almost started to ruin the paint? You gotta be careful. All this white, I guarantee you, this is from carb clean, starting fluid, or gas is what did this. Because it's pretty much only on this one side, so it dripped around. That's what caused that. That's why you don't want the thing leaking. It'll ruin the paint. when I wash this and shine it, it'll come back, it'll buff out, but that's just something to keep in mind. So, I've got that part figured out. The engine's pretty much good to go. The oil's already good. Gas is good. Carburetor's good. Spark plug's good. The air filter I have, the only one for this engine, isn't in the greatest shape, but it'll work for now. I gotta Dremel this Craftsman off of here, because this ain't no Craftsman, so I gotta Dremel that off real fast, and then this is going on. So that's what I'm doing now, real quick. But I want to admit that I was starting to lose my patience, because that thing kept leaking gas, then it didn't want to start, then it started and stalled, and then it finally started and ran properly. It just needed to run all that crap out, and now it's finally running properly. But it still might have trouble starting because that primer's not working, which means the only way I can get it started was with starting fluid. Once I replace that primer, then that issue will also be resolved. Let's see if it starts right back up again, just for the heck of it. I mean, it's warm now, so it shouldn't not start right back up. See, it's still got a slight miss, but that's because it's running all that crap out of it. Once it does, it'll be fine. And in grass, it'll run even better. So that's good. I have two air filters. The one it's supposed to take, which is could be better. And this one, which is brand new, but it's not the right size. It'll work, but it's not the right size. So, probably gonna go with that one, but we'll see. I'm cleaning this one out right now with compressed air as best as I can. I don't feel like having to order one and wait for it. I want this thing out of here as soon as possible. Just noticed that. And that's the wheel that might be messed up. I don't know, we'll see. I have wheels. Alright, air filter base is back on. Let's see how it runs just with the air filter base. And then we're going to put the air filter on, see how it runs with the air filter. Not bad. The engine's perfect now. There's still a rattle to it, but that's either the decorative blade. That'll go away once I deal with that. Engine's good to go. Now I gotta find two of those stupid screws to get that cover back on. And I gotta untie the rope again to get it through that cover. Well, I gotta Dremel that Craftsman off of there anyway. While I'm at it, I might Dremel a slot through the right here, Dremel a slot through so the rope can go right through like a buddy of mine did. That was a smart move. Alright. Dremel tools come in handy. Doesn't say Craftsman anymore. Don't look perfect, but hey, good enough. The only thing I don't like about this camera is how it takes like a couple seconds for it to white out to go away. They're like this, but they're longer. And it's going to take me a few minutes to find something that works. Stuff like this is what takes up time. It's annoying. Alright, let's see. Alright, the cover that I had to somewhat beat the heck out of to get off is back on. 2 out of 4 of them are very tight. The third one's pretty good. Maybe I can add a washer to that one. Give it a little more. That one is more for show than anything, but that one I might add a little washer to just to give it a little more so it ain't vibrating. But it's back on. You can't really tell, so that's good. That was a pain. Alright, cover's back on. See, sometimes it's something as stupid as that can hold you up for a while. But it's on tight. Now I gotta find out why this self-propel is not working. The cable is definitely frozen. However, if you go to push this back, that wheel does not want to roll. This one does. I think that one's worn out, and the cable's froze. Hopefully it's not the trans. That would suck. If it's the trans, it's turning into a push mower. And that's not good for this unit. So hopefully it's just a cable and a wheel. We're gonna find out right now. Engine, good to go. Here's what I determined right off the bat. Both wheels, gears are good. Both sides. This one turns as it should. I think, you know, it goes this way and then stops this way. That one, this one's just freewheeling. So I gotta see what's up with that. I don't know why it's doing that. Did it lose? Did somebody take this off and forget to put the gear, the little key vac in place? I think that might be the case. But nonetheless, this cable is frozen at the moment. So I gotta take this cable off and see if I have another one or I can free this one up. And then if I can get that side of the self-propel to work, then I can look into this side deeper and see why the heck we're having problems with this, why this is like this. I think someone took this off and didn't put all the pieces back on. So that's what I think's going on. Besides that cable being frozen, there might be transmission issues. And the problem is, if there is, I don't think I have this transmission. I know I sold one a year ago, 2 years ago. If this transmission's no good, that's not good, because it's a personal pace. Well, I gotta take a bunch of stuff apart to get to it to see. That sucks, but hey, that's how it goes. Alright, so it might not actually be bad. It might just be rusted, frozen. So I am working right now to try to free this thing up. Hopefully once I free this up, it will work again. That gear, I gotta find out why isn't engaging. Whether if somebody messed with it or it's just the springs froze on that one. This whole thing, you can see even where the cable goes. I've got the cable up. I had it right out. It's out, but it's still frozen. So I'm gonna do a little more inspecting on this. Alright, I got that cable out. That cable was definitely froze up. As soon as I got that cable out of there, that transmission moved the way it's supposed to for engaging and disengaging. See it? Now, I bet if I put the wheel back on, I'll probably be able to go in reverse. But I gotta keep adding WD-40 and stuff. But I don't think this gearbox is bad. I think it was just all rusted to the point where it couldn't move, and that cable was definitely part of the reason. And I think I have another one of those cables, so we might be in luck. But I gotta get this gear to work like this one, where it goes one way and stops the other way. This goes and it's supposed to stop. I gotta pull that off and free all that crap off, and this is probably all from it sitting out. Moisture, water, rust is what did this. Tried to unfreeze the cable, and it completely just went bye-bye inside. Luckily I have another one, I think. But that was shot. The other thing I believe I figured out was that the belt was frozen onto the pulley, just like lawn tractors do. And if it was, that's why this will not turn. So I'm trying to get access to it, and there's still one more screw I gotta get. Guess it's in the right under the box. So I gotta get that, and then we can finally, hopefully, break this thing free. But yeah, I don't think the transmission was bad. I think rust did this completely. Alright, great news. So I got everything under here, and I was able to take a pair of these big ass channel locks, and I unfroze it. You see it? They're moving now. Transmission's still good. It was just froze up. It was froze up from sitting outside, getting rained on, collecting moisture, and turning into rust. So I am going to soak the shit out of this with lubricant, but it's already freeing up nicely. That one I still have to get the, oh no, that one's making the right, that's, okay, it's this one down here. I gotta get to make the same sound as this one. And then self-propel will be back in business once I put a cable on that works. But yep, it was all just froze up from moisture. So I'm gonna sit here and work on this for a little bit, get this freed up, and then put this back together. The self-propelled will work. Amen. Oh, that's lucky. So we're into this, I don't know, a day. It ain't bad for a day. I guarantee you, the newer ones, you ain't getting them to come back to life if they've been sat like that for that long, especially the engines. They're not coming back to life, no way. This thing got very lucky. It got into my hands, that's why. Otherwise, the landfill is where this was headed. Scrapyard. Alright, so here's the situation. It'll work, but I need a cable. Here's the broken one. It's one length, okay? I found another one, probably from a newer Toro. It's too long. Okay, right? It's too long. Yeah, way too long. And then I found this one that I'm trying to use right now from the Lawn Boy. Again, too short. There's one more I'm gonna go try right now. Off an old Toro, and if it works, great. If not, what I have to do, I gotta order a cable, and I'll put this one to the side and work on another one in the meantime. You know, come to think of it, I've probably used one or two of those cables in the past, because they go bad, you know, they go bad. And unfortunately, I couldn't save that one, it rotted. And you can't, you know, if I could cut one to length, like if I could shorten this one, you know, I could have it going today, but you can't do that. So, because even if you were able to, like if I had cable, which I do have cable, right, you have to be able to reattach these ends, and it's just something that I don't have the tools to do. So I got one more. I'm gonna go pull the cable off and see if it works. If not, I gotta order a cable. This one's gotta be put to the side temporarily, and I'll pick another one in the meantime. Wait for the cable to come, put it back together, and it'll be good. I know it's gonna work because that's self-propel, it's letting it go. While it's in self-propel mode, it's letting it come back. But as soon as you let up, it won't let me pull it forward. That's because the cable's too long. See how it's letting me also now pull it back? It's fixed. It's ready to go. It's ready to do the self-propel. It's a matter of, see, when this is down, it won't let me go in reverse without letting go. That's no good. The cable's too short. My only dilemma, I got one more cable to check right now. If not, gotta order a cable. I tried. The one back there was a 98. It said Fargo Assembly. It was a Toro personal pace with the aluminum deck. One of the first ones, I think, that had that personal pace. But it's shot. It's shot. So I gotta order a cable. That's the only thing stopping me now from this working. Now I accidentally unbolted that. Now this door is a little more tense than it should be. Loosen that up a little bit. Hopefully that helps. So I gotta order a cable right now, and then it'll work. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order the cable right now. This one's going to go off to the side briefly with the parts. And then I'll pick something else to work on tomorrow. And then when the cable comes in, I'll install it. We'll make sure it's fully functional. I know it's going to be. The gearbox works. Everything's freed up now. It's just a matter of having the correct cable. You win some, you lose some, you know. What happened is I have used so many of these cables in the past that I ran out. Because it'll work. Barely, it works. You know. But it's not... See, when you push down on this, that's supposed to add tension. It's already under full tension. It's opposite. It's too short. But I know it'll work because I hear it clicking. I can roll it back now. The transmission works like it should. I freed it up. And these are decent mowers when they're functional. So that's what I'm going to do. Order the cable right now, and we'll pick another mower tomorrow. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this one, part 3 on the recycler. But yeah, engine's good now. In fact, just for the heck of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to see if that primer works. Come on, baby. See, it's hard to do this one-handed. It's hard to do it one-handed. Hold on. And I put a new rope on there, and it's still a little bit too short. That's crazy. And as long as it's primed, it'll start fine, but damn. Alright. I still might have to put a new primer on it if I don't want to start easy. Yeah, it needs a primer. Primer, and the self-propelled's working in reverse. Pulling on the thing is making it go instead of pushing it, so I know it's gonna work. It just needs a cable. Alright, so that's the conclusion on that for now. Whew, thanks for watching. I don't really spend that much time on push mowers anymore, but I did this time because it's a Toro. I have another Toro, a front-wheel drive one. I think maybe I'll pull that one out next. So that'll probably be the one I grab tomorrow. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Later.